Today we're going to talk about two ways of making leather piping. First way is we are going to use a very small slither to insert in. So let's cut this in half. Okay, so let's cut this in half. Oh, use that bit for the other half. And then what we want to do is just take a small slither. There you go. We'll just take a small sliver of that. Just take it off like that. All the way. There we go. So we have a small slither of leather. And we have this bit of leather here. So then what we're going to do is now we're going to attach we're going to put some glue down this bit here. Make sure it's around the centre. There we go. Glue it down. And then we'll lay this bit down in the middle of the glue. Screw it down. Okay. Now with this excess glue here, we'll just scoop that around, put that on top. Make sure it's nice and glued. Glue it. Nice little bit of gluage. There we go. Lovely. Okay, there we go. We get a bit of cardboard because there might be some seepage. Then what we're going to do is then we're going to roll it over a bit. Roll it over and squish it down on itself and make sure that bit's in the middle. Like that. I'll put a touch more glue on that so it doesn't seem to want to play. There we go. That's nice and got a lot of glue on it now. So I'm going to fold that back around. I'm going to make sure you got it nice and sideways, so you have a definite divide of it. Yeah, it's glued up. Then what you want to do, get a small tool like this and work it in. And I'm going to run that all the way down. So then it defines the piping crease. Keep working your way up and down the piping just to get it stuck in. Let the glue get a little bit tacky up. Just keep there we go. A bit of slippage there. We'll just fix that up there. What we'll do is we'll give that time to dry, and then we'll come back to that just in a little bit, just so it's got time to harden, so then we can work the leather in a bit more to make it more defiant, because at the moment it's a little bit, you can definitely see the piping, and then once you start attaching it to anything, it will be, you'll have it sticking out like this. There we go. So it'll just look like the piping. So we've got a nice defined piping there. Second method we'll look at, you'll need to be able to skive. So we have a piece of leather here which is, say, 5 centimeters. So we need to be able to knock that down by half. So fold it over, get half of that. So that's an inch. So half an inch on the calipers. There we go. And then we'll go half an inch at the top, half an inch at the bottom, half an inch. Score that. That's better. We'll score line there. And then we'll have a score line down this side. Okay. Now we've got the start of the line, we're just kneading it up a bit so we can definitely see it a little better. These are all there we go. And now what we want to do is use a French skive, like this one here. So what this is just a channel sort of chisel, and that will take out a lot of some of the leather on the inside. So what we are going to do is, because it can be a little bit tricky, I'm going to clamp the leather down on a board so I can get into it properly. That stops the leather from stretching, and I can get both sides. Because this leather is quite flexible, it will stretch and it will be harder to skive. On that, and then what I'll do is I'll just clamp this one to the table, and that will stop that from moving. There we go. We'll just give it a quick honing. just run it up the leather to thin it down. See how the leather's creasing, so it's not the easiest leather to do it at this length. So what you're doing is just shaving the backside of the leather, the grainy bit. So the bit that looks quite suede-ish, and you're just shaving that down to make it thinner than the bit in the middle. Can do is we can do a little bit like this and then cut the ends off. So all this is doing is thinning the leather down. Start to get quite light around here, so it means we're getting the depth we're looking for. So we'll just do it as well. And clamp it there, and then carry on with this bottom bit. Lovely. Another quick stropping. There we are. Make sure you get this nice and thin. Looks like it's still got some thick bits. Just run your skiving tool over. Mainly these bits here. You can tell because they're the darker bit. So you've got the light bit, and then you've got the darker bit. So then we'll just run the skiving tool over those bits. Oh, see, I've done it a little bit too amorous there, and I've just taken a little hole in it, but that's fine because that will be the inside of the piping. Let's just empty the board off. Let's have a look on the other side now. So what we're going to do is just do exactly the same. We're going to run the skiving tool up to thin the leather off. The good thing about a French skiver is it sort of does it in channels. So I think it's easier to follow a line. Especially on this sort of more flexier leather. It's quite stretchy, it's quite movable. If you were using sort of like a veggie tanned leather, you can sort of get it away with using a sort of a chisel tool, like use more of a tool like this, and you'll just use it sideways. But this ceramic skiving chisel doesn't quite work as well as the French skiver. So then we've got, make sure it's thin down here. There we go. You could probably actually combine these two methods together, you know, thin the leather down like this, and then put a strip of leather, because depending on how thick you want the piping, depends on how thick you put the insert into the middle of the leather. The thinner you can get the leather, I'm using, it's a 10mm, so that's 1 centimetre. That's about ½ an inch to skive. I think that works wondrous for what I want it for. This is a brand new skive I bought today, just bought it from Amazon. So brand new, never been used before apart from now. So yes, that means this is the first time I've ever skived the leather like this. There we go, getting it nice and thin now. So, working my way through it. Okay, so now we've got to this stage. Let's clean the board clean off. Let's get the gluing platform back. What I'm going to do is just smear some glue around. Put some glue on it like that. There you go. Clean that off. Use our little glue sticky. So I like to use a little bit of cardboard, because if you accidentally use a little bit too much, you can just place it. You can just wang it down there and then just get rid of it at the end. There we go. And then what you do again is you find the thick bit and then you glue it, and the thick bit of the leather sort of make a sort of tube like cavity, so So you just want to make sure that you've glued all right to the ends, because you want them stuck in like that. Okay, and then what you need to do is define your pipe again like that. So with this method you get more of a defined, but it's not as hard or robust. So there you go. So all you need to do is keep working whilst it's drying, defining your piping or whatever we're calling it at this stage. So that's all you want to do. Okay, and there we go. 2 ways of making leather piping from scratch. Well, thank you very much. This has been Cooper's Leather. If you enjoy what you see, like, subscribe, and even leave a comment down below. Thank you very much.